where the adjuster is. Of course I might have to drill it out as well. So at the moment I'm going to turn the camera off so I can strip it down, okay? So I'll see you in a bit. Right, okay, so I've just taken the scope off and I'm just going to remove the stock. I've got spiders crawling over me. Now what I might be doing is keep turning off the camera because it just makes it a little bit awkward trying to concentrate and working on the rifle. I know a lot of people do this on YouTube, but there's two two bolts really, one with an Allen key and one with a Phillips screwdriver, and what you don't want to do is loose your bolts. Right, okay, so we've got that. So it looks like I might have to take, oh shit, looks like I might have to take off this cheek piece. Yeah, if you look at my bench, you can see a series of holes all over the place, see? That's why I've got it covered, because I don't want to loose any screws. Okay, so the hammer spring will be there. The hammer spring will be on this part here, I imagine. I don't know if you can see that part. This part here, but it also holds a spring clip, so I've got to be careful. Not only that, let's put this down there because I don't want to scratch it all. Right, so as I say, I'm not quite sure what I'm doing here because I've never done it. I've always mucked about with linkages and stuff like that. That's very good, isn't it? God, that's okay. can't see down there. I need a torch. How'd you turn the torch on? Don't you know how to turn the torch on? That's no good, is it? I don't know how to turn the torch on. I've got no torch. I need to see what's that. I'll have to go and get a torch. Okay, and that's not showing me neither. I can't see down there. I might have to go online and find out how to adjust this tension spring. Seems very strange. I see, that's a spring. Yeah, that's a spring down there. I'll have to put this back. I have to put that back in the stock, I think, and test that, because I just can't make out why it's got this kind of on the end, because the spring is butting up to this part here. The spring butts up to this part here, and when I did loosen that off, it kind of sprung back. So maybe, I don't know, I'll just put all this back together and we'll give it a try. But I can't see that it's going to reduce the power. So I'll have to fill it back up with air and fill it back up with air and do a chrono test and see if anything's different in the way of speed and foot-pounds. And I'll have to have a look at a manual on this. So this screws into that part I just took out. So I can't see what that does to the spring. I think I should have used the croquet. I should have done the croquet first. This is the Beeman. Right. And to put the scope back on. Say these screws on this Zulus mount is £30 per square inch. I ain't got no torque wrench, so I said about the other day about flattening this off. See what I done? So it fits. Just sort of flatten that off so it fits over the silencer. So I'm just going to fill this up with air. okay, so that's filled up with air, so I'll put the chrono back on. With the chrono, they say with the FX chrono, get it as close to the barrel as possible. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. Right, okay, so I'm going to turn this off, and I'm changing over the cameras now. Right, both recording, so just going to set the FX radar up again. Right, so new string. Create new string. Right, okay, so that's a new string created, and I'm recording the screen. It's at the moment there's people walking over the back there. Oh damn, that's strong. Okay, so we're going to go for this bullseye. I can't see no one now, but $752.12. No, don't have to do no more. That shot high, that pellet. $749.11.9. $745.11.8. Well, to tell the truth, I don't have to do no more, because that first shot of 12 foot-pounds, if I put a Bisley pellet in there, that would have been over. So it's waste time doing anything. I'd have to read the manual and see how we can adjust this spring. It's very dodgy, very dodgy. Right, I'm going to cancel this out because as I say, that first shot hit 12 foot-pounds. Right, I'm going to stop the camera. Scope off. Magazine out. And it's unsafe. Right, at the moment I'm not going to put this on YouTube because it's over the foot. Well, as I say, that first shot of 12 foot-pounds, too risky to put it on YouTube at the moment. Once I've adjusted the spring, but then I'll put it on the YouTube. But at the moment I'm not. Okay, so I'll see you later. Bye. Right, it's Saturday evening and I'm just going to do the Beeman again. You know, sometimes my brain and eyes don't correspond, you know what I mean? I see things but the brain don't engage. And of course, just underneath, I'll turn the camera around. Yeah, just underneath the cheek piece is a screw which I saw yesterday, but I didn't react to it. And what the screw does, it goes right down into the spring cap cover, or the spring cap, whatever you want to call it. So I'm just going to dismantle the rifle again. Yeah, it's amazing. Just lately, I see things, but it just don't register to me. Well, just here, there's a screw. There's a Phillips screw, and that goes right down into the base. So I'll just take the stock off. Now I understand that the spring is around about 75mm, I think, on these Beemans. They're not well, one of my friends, he said there's not, it's not like a whole spring. It seems like Beemans use long springs and they cut them. How true that is, I don't know until I open this up. Right, okay, so right, okay, so the first thing, I'm going to take the lug out, which I showed you the other day, this part here, and then I'll take this screw out, but I'll have to hold the cap because it'll fly off. Now whether you have to undo this one, I'm not quite sure, but that's what I'm doing anyway, because this screw's quite deep in length, and I think it goes through the cap as well. So right now, this part here, if I hold the cap, oops, screw. Yeah, the other day I was looking at it and it just didn't register, you know. Right, that's the long screw. Now this cap comes out, and here's the spring. As I say, the spring is cut. I'm just gonna measure it. So well, this spring measures 70, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it down to 60. So the spring measures 70 millimeters. So I'm going to cut it down to 60 millimeters. Now I think I'll cut it down to 55. So it's 15 mil off that spring. Now this shot, the first shot I've done yesterday was 12 foot-pounds, which is illegal because it has to be under the 12 foot-pounds. So 12 or over becomes illegal. It means if the police came round and checked it and found it overpowered, well then they would straight away confiscate all the rifles to have them tested. And if they shoot 12 or over on any rifle, I would be fined heavily, could go to prison, because you need a firearms certificate. That's the way I understand. But of course, the rifles will also be destroyed. You know? So let's cut this down. Going to be a bit of a hard job, but I've got very sharp cutters. So I'm just going to nip off 15 mil. 15 mil. And from the factory, right, okay, so from the factory, the spring, as you can see how it's flattened there, is not the same at the other end. They cut the spring just like I have here. You can see how it's cut, and that part's proud. You know, so that's not squashed down to that. Right, so now that measures exactly 55 millimeters. So from 12 foot-pounds taking off 15 mil, I'm hoping it's going to bring it down to 11, or maybe just under. Now I might have to it's very hard to say whether you can take any more off that. I would say 15 mil would be the maximum. Right, so all it is now is putting it all back together. Now inside here you've got your hammer. Inside there you've got your hammer, and you've got a kind of a lobe which that spring goes onto. And I've missed it. Let's put it in there. Yeah, that spring goes onto a lobe. Right, okay, so that's in. Now I just got to line these holes up. Right, okay, so as long as I haven't got it upside down, I just put this part in first. And now I can just put the long screw in and tighten that down. Am I in camera shot? No. So I'm going to put the long screw in and tighten that down. Right, Okay, really, the job's done. I mean, whether I've got I don't know whether I can cut any more off, but say 15mm is a lot of string to cut. But I'd rather have the rifle weak than overpowered, you know what I mean? Right, so all I've got to do is put the stock back on. Oh, just dropped the bolt, I think. Yeah, loves to find out. So I haven't lost it. Right, okay, I've got it. So that's one thing you don't want to lose with these bolts. Dude, you dropped it again. Okay, that's that one done. Now for a very easy fix. That's if it works. Right, that's tightened. Now, if anybody's got a Beeman 1357 or even the 2.2 model, it's best to do a chronograph check on it. Also, what I didn't do was I didn't have it to the full 200 bar. Because I fill my rifles up, all the rifles, to 180. So what I'll have to do is readjust my compressor. Yeah, what I'll have to do is readjust my compressor to 200 bar. That's 3000 psi. As I say, I only fill mine up to 180. So even at 180 bar, that rifle shot yesterday at 12 foot-pounds, which is illegal. It's got to be under it's got to be under 12. That's why they call it a sub 12. Anyway, so I'll have to readjust my compressor, just bring it up so I get a full 200 bar, and then try this out. So yesterday, I mean, it could have shot over 12. You know, I just want to be legal in all the rifles I've got. So the MPO3, Krell MPO3 and the Krell K is they're okay. MPO3 is shooting around about 9.5 foot-pounds, and the Krell K is, I don't know, about 10.3, I think, 10.3. So I'm hoping this will be around about the 10 again, you know. And of course what I don't want to do is lose accuracy on any of the rifles. At the moment the Beeman is not shooting all that well, but it's shooting, you know, it's shooting okay, but could be better. Used to be a laser, but then again, all the times I've been shooting it, it's been overpowered. Well, I don't know whether I should say that, because you know, it's really hard to say if it has been overpowered all the time. You know, perhaps sometimes it was under that 12 foot-pounds, but all I was, you know, yesterday when I shot it, it was 12. It went straight onto 12 foot-pounds. Yeah, bit dodgy. Yeah, so at the moment, it's 10 past 6, so I can't really start the compressor up, but I can readjust it. I think it's only a bar. Right, that's round about 3,000 psi, 200 bars. So when I'm ready to shoot this today, of course it's Sunday. It'll be Sunday, won't it? I won't be shooting it today. It'll be tomorrow, yeah, Sunday. Testing the chrono out on it. So in the morning I'll fill it up with air just before going out. At the moment it's, as I say, it's set for 180 bar on the rifle. So I just top that up to 200 and see how it performs. But I really don't think I could cut more off that spring. I mean, I might have gone over the top now, you know, 15 mil off. So you get 15 mil off a spring. It's quite a lot. Just over half inch, isn't it? 15 mil. Yeah, I don't know where that part of the spring's gone. It flicked off somewhere, but I don't. I found one part because it did cut into two. That's one part of the spring, which is what, 1/4 inch, and I had to cut it twice because I couldn't get the snips in. But where the other bit's gone, I don't know. On the floor somewhere. Yeah, but yeah, when you think about that spring, the tension on it, even that small, I can squeeze with my fingers. You can see where I've cut it just here, and this is the top part where first I cut it there, and then this was from the factory cut just here. So I imagine what they do, they get a long spring and cut it, because they should have really flattened that down to that coil. You know what I mean? So it looks like a proper spring, but it's you know, it's a cut, and that's from the factory. So the sub 12 for it, UK market. They got the spring running anyway, so of course, under the law we've got no excuse. Oh, we just bought that, you know, and it's shooting at 12. The police won't take much notice of that. If it's 12 or over, you're breaking the law. So I still don't know what that's going to shoot tomorrow. Yeah. Anyway, until the morning, I can't do nothing now, so I'm going to end the video, add this on to the first part was when I shot it yesterday, so you'll see the chronograph read 12. Yeah, so I'll see you later, okay, bye. Right, okay, I'm outside. I've got the Bisley Magnums here, which is the heaviest pellet. They're 10.5s. Here I've got the Barracuda 957s, and I've got Aquapel, which I will have to load one of the magazines up with, and that's 7.5, something like that. And I've got a chronograph set. I'll start recording. Right, the scope's recording. Bisley Magnums first. I'm going for the top target. So now I'm going to start the recorder on the phone. Okay, so I'm going to take the first shot and we'll see where it goes. Right, safety's off. First shot, I'm aiming directly at the bullseye.
600, 91, 11.1.
Okay, so that's the first shot.
$689, 11.1. $689, 11.1. $689, 11.1.
Not bad, eh?
691, 11.1. 696, 11.3.
Must be the different weights of the pellet, I think, you know, from the tin.
687, 11. 691, 11.1. 696, 11.3. 687, 11. 687, 11.
Do you know, it's a
Last bullet.
Last bullet, okay. That's a nice tidy group.
$684, 10.9. Empty magazine.
Right, very good. Okay, I was hoping it'd be in the tens, but it's constant. That's with heavy pellets. Now my middle range is the Barracuda 9.57 grain, and that magazine here, which is empty, will be loaded up with Aquapel, which is the lightest pellet. So pick the rifle, select profile, right, Barracuda 15s, right, 12 shots on a Barracuda 15, so let's see how they go. We'll go for the left bottom target.
$700. 10. 10.7.
Okay.
$700. 12. 10.8. 700. 19. 11.
Oh, shit. I forgot to fill the rifle up. Right, I'm going to stop the cameras because I want to fill the rifle up, and I'd have to take this again, okay? I'll have to fire this shot off.
700. 14. 10.9.
Right, we'll have to cancel this out. I'm going to turn the scope off. In camera. And I'll try to turn this off as well. What I'm going to do now is fill it up with air. I've got 180 bar already in, and now we're going to fill it up to 200 bar. And I want to test out 3 pellets, the heaviest and the lightest. So I've got Bisley Magnums at 10.5. I've got the Barracuda FTs at 9.57, and I've got the Aquapel, and they're 7.5 say. So 3 different pellets. I'll do Bisley's first, then the FTs, and then the Aquapel, and we'll see what the chrono results are. But each time I do a chrono test, I'll be filling this rifle up, so it's on each magazine the rifle will be full, because we want to know the first shot. That's most important, I think. So now you can see the air gauge at 200 bar. Right, as I said, each magazine on a chrono will be, the air will be topped up, and so every time, where does it go? Every time, well, we're just under 200 bar, I think, so I got that little bit wrong. Okay, I might have to do that again. Trouble is, I don't want to go too mad because I don't want it. I don't want to go over into the red. So I'm going to start the compressor again. Right, okay, so that's 200 bar. Okay, so what I do, I'm just going to fit the chronograph on, and I'll see you outside. So I've got 3 targets. Yeah. So I'll see you outside, okay? Right, okay, so what I've done, I've just filled the magazine up again with 12 shots. I've set the chrono again. And I'm going to go for the same target. I'm going to go for the same target, but you've got to ignore those first 4 shots. I think there was. Oh, I ain't got the scope on yet. Yeah, I think there was 4 shots taken, but fresh. Well, I've loaded in the pellets that was empty, and as I say, we're going to go for the same target. So you've got to ignore that there. Okay, they'll most probably be going through the same hole anyway. So I'll start the recorder. Right, that's recording. So we're going to take the first shot.
700. 1. 10.4. 700. 19. 11.
That shot up, didn't it?
700. 17. 10.9. 700. 7. 10.
Point.
6. 700. 7. 10.
Point.
6. 700. 19. 11. 700. 10. 10.
Point.
7. 700. 10. 10.
Point.
7. 700. 12. 10.
Point.
8. 700. 10. 10.
Point.
7.
2 more shots.
700. 21. 11.
God dear me.
Point.
1.
Last bullet.
700. 17. 10.
Point.
9.
Right,
Empty magazine.
empty magazine. Okay, so it's in the 10 foot-pounds. Can't really say what. Around about, I would say around about 10.6, 10.7, I think. So that's not too bad. I've got to fill the rifle up with air again, so what? Oh dear me, I weren't recording. Never mind. At least we've got the thingamabob here, but the group, you'll see it on the second, the aqua pills. So what I do, I load in the aqua pills now, and then I'll take the rifle in and these are the aqua pill, okay, and I know some of the skirts are a little bit iffy, but these are the lightest pellets I've got. God dear me, do you know that wind's cold today? But at the moment, it's not looking too bad. I was worried that it was going to go down into, well, taking that 15mm off that spring. I was worried it was going to go down below 9. Well, I wouldn't have worried, but below 9. And I'm surprised really how high they have gone, some of these shots. So what I said about pellets the other day, about you buy a tin of pellets, whatever weight they are, I think they just fill the tin up and take an average. Right, okay, this is 12 Aquapel. Okay, 12 Aquapel. These are the lightest pellets, around about 7.5 I think, or just over. Right, so I'll take the rifle in. I'll stop this. I'll stop the recording. Right, okay, that's saved. I'll set this when I get back. So I'm going to stop this recording. Right, okay, so I'm going to fill up with air. okay, the reason I'm doing this is because I don't want no cheating, you know what I mean, in a way of pellets, the speed or the foot-pounds. So I'll see you back outside. Right, that's all filled up. I turn the chronograph on again, and now we need the aqua pellet. Okay, rifle profile. Right, aquapel. Right, aquapel is 756 grain. So these are the aquapel. Now, I can't remember the last time I shot these from this rifle and what they was like. It's gone out, okay. Right, so start the got to turn the scope on again. Right, so we're going to go for record. Yeah, okay. You can see the FT pellets there made quite a big hole against the business on the top. So now these are the aquapel, and I don't know where these might go. So I'm going to start the recorder, and I'm going to take the first shot. So this is the last part of the test on the chrono.
772. 10. 777. 10.
Point.
1. 775. 10.
Point.
1. 761. 9.
Point.
7. 740. 9.
Point.
2. 770. 10.
There's a big difference in these pellets and way they're travelling and what the chronograph's saying.
768. 9.
Point.
9. 745. 9.
Point.
3. 770. 10. 770. 10.
2 more pellets, I think.
749. 9.
Point.
4.
Last bullet.
Last bullet, okay.
775. 10.
Point.
1.
Empty
Yeah,
magazine.
on the aquapel, let's stop the video. Okay, the recorder stopped. On the Aquapel, the group there is not too bad, but we've got 2 outsiders, whereas on the FTs, although the hole's large, still under 5p piece, we've just got, I don't know whether that's a split the top one or a little bit of a off pellet, but on the of the business you can see how small that hole is. So I'm going to take another. I'm not going to load any more. Well, I'm going to load the FTs in, and of course this is not being chronographed because it's already been done. But I just want to see. These are the old FT pellets, which last time I shot with the Beeman, they wasn't all that perfect, but it seems like since that spring's been done, they're on target. So I'm just going to go for another group of 12, and that would be 48 shots all told. So, and of course I'm not filling up the rifle with air because it's unnecessary. We only filled that up each time for the chronograph test, so everything was fair, you know. But I'm pleased with everything what's gone on, even the heavy pellets and that. Right, okay, so that's another 12 going in, and what I'm going to do is go in between the targets for a group. Right, I'm going to go in between the targets. Oh, I can't see the crosshair. Right, I've got it on black. So in between those 2 lines there. I must admit the hammer bounce is not sharp as it was, and it still sounds very, very quiet with that Krell silencer I got on. And that's another small hole at the moment. This could be the last shot. Oh no, one more. Okay, last shot. Right, okay, now that's under the 5p piece, and comparing it with the Bisley, it's quite the same. Very hard to say what one. And if you notice, I was aiming for the middle. The Bisley went high to the right, and I was aiming for the middle here, and that was also going right. So the scope is a little bit out, but I'm not worried about that at the moment. Even the Aquapel here, if those 2 shots weren't outside, that would also have been a decent group. course the biggest group was that first one when I was doing chrono with the FTs. Oh mind you, there was already 4 shots in that, weren't there? Yeah, very pleased, very pleased. Anyway, that's the end of the video, so I'm going to turn off. Turn the scope off. Oh, that's turn the scope off. Pull the cord out. Magazine out. Decocked and unsafe. Yeah, I'm very well pleased with that. As I say, this could be a long video, I don't know, I've got to join it onto the others. But now I'm legal. If anybody ever comes round to check my rifles, they're all legal. So I'm well pleased about that. Yeah, if anybody's got a Beeman, I would suggest to check on a chrono it, because that spring is not what I would say a factory made spring. Beeman looks like what they've done, or especially to this rifle, I can't talk about other Beemans, but it was already cut from the factory, and the person who ever cut it too large, so that's why it hit the 12 foot-pounds. Now I remember last year when I done a chrono, I think it went to 13 foot-pounds. Of course I didn't take much notice of it at the time. I just thought, you know, because all the other shots was under, way under 12, I didn't take much notice of that single shot. And it was only until one person said to me, it only takes 1 pellet to be over and you're knackered, you know what I mean? So I would suggest anybody who's got the Beeman, whether it's the 1357 or 1358, check it, because if mine's come out of the factory overpowered, so can yours, you know? So keep safe, and I'll see you later. If you enjoyed the video, give the thumbs up, leave your comments, and that's it. I'm going indoors to keep warm, okay? See you later on. Bye.